Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at some purchases that I recently bought off eBay. So let's crack into the video and see what I bought. So as you can probably see by glance, these are old pre-decimal pennies that are pre-1971. So these were made from 1860 to 1967. And these are all new dates for my collection except one of these coins. So yeah, we're going to be looking at them and we're going to see what new dates I got, and then at the end I'm going to show you where they go into my collection, the albums they go into, and yeah, the places that they go into my collection. So we're going to start, I'm going to do these at the end because they're very good buys. They're really good purchases. These are all from eBay, so yeah, we'll start with this one. So this is the one that was a duplicate for me, but I had to buy it to get another date that I needed. So this is a 1922 King George V penny. It's in decent condition, but unfortunately it's got some corrosion there, but apart from that it's in very good condition. So this might be an upgrade for my current one. So yeah, that was the first coin. They're both separate lots, so these coins here were bought separately, and then these two here were bought together. These two cost me £1.70 plus postage, so I think it's an alright deal. So yeah, this is the duplicate, and that I already have that one in my collection, so that one might be an upgrade, but it's a date that I already have. The next coin from that bundle, and the last coin from that bundle that I bought for £1.70 is this 1926 penny. Now this is a date that I do need, and this is actually the last date that I need for my 1902 to 1929 Whitman album. So when we put this in at the end, I dropped it. Anyway, when I put this in at the end, my Whitman album will be completed, and we will have the full set from 1902 to 1929, including the KN and H pennies. So yeah, that's going to finish off our collection. So yeah, I'm very happy with that one. This one's got a lower mintage of about 4.4 million. We'll look at the actual mintage when we put it in the album, but yeah, around 4.4 million of them. So it's a tougher date to get. It's not really scarce, but it's tougher than most dates to get. So let me just put those up there. Actually, that didn't take too long to go through them. So yeah, I'll crack into these. These are probably going to take a little bit of time. So, as you can see on this bag, it says 3 key dates, 1869 Bunhead Queen Victoria, and then yeah, another annotation here saying pennies rare, 1869, 1950 and 1953. So those are the coins that are in the bag. Now, before we crack into these, I'd like to mention that I actually won a bid on these. So this was on eBay. Starting bid was £26. I put a bid in at 27, and I won the lot, and this is an absolutely cracking deal for these pennies. If I was to buy these pennies separately, they probably cost maybe about £80 to £90 in total to buy all of them separately, maybe even more, but yeah, I've got such a good deal on these coins. I've effectively paid for one of the key dates and then got 2 free. But yeah, amazing purchase there. So yeah, let's crack into it, and I think I'm going to start. Let's start with the 1953. So here's the 1953, Elizabeth II, 1953. This one has been circulated, as you can see. As a fact, these coins were actually never meant to go into circulation. 1953 is one of the only NIFC years, apart from 1970, that wasn't meant for circulation. These coins were actually meant to go into the plastic sets that the Royal Mint issued, but some of them got broken out and some of them got spent, and that's why obviously this one has been circulated, because someone has broken it out of the set and then spent it at some point in its life. Obviously you could only spend this until 1971, so it probably would have been broken out in the 1950s or 1960s. But yeah, this is a scarce date. 1.3 million made of this one, so yeah, very scarce. One thing to note on this coin, this is a 1 year variety, so on the 1953, the words Britain OM only appeared in 1953. After 1953, they removed Britain OM. I do not know why, but I assume it's because of the lack of space, and they wanted to free some space up by removing it. But yeah, it's a nice coin. First penny of Elizabeth II, and yeah, the coronation year, so that was very, very nice. An uncirculated one is probably going to be worth about £10, but this one has been circulated, so I'd probably get maybe £3 or £4 for this one. So yeah, it's still a scarce date, and yeah, that's a new date for my collection, so yeah, very, very happy with that. Next we will look at the 1950. So here it is. So as we can see, we have got King George VI here. Designer of this portrait was Humphrey Parger, and it's a very, very nice portrait. And there's the all-important date, 1950. Decent condition. It has been circulated, but it's not too worn. This one is a decent example of this coin, and in this condition, this is probably a £25 to £30 coin. So I've effectively only paid for this, and I've basically got the 1953 and the 1869 for free. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. And it's a very, very scarce date. Only 240,000 were made. So yeah, very, very scarce date. And actually, they weren't actually meant to circulate in Britain. These were actually shipped to Bermuda, and I think that some of them went to the Bahamas as well. So yeah, these were only really made for the colonies, but when British collectors found out that these coins were going to be rare, they decided to go to the colonies and go and snap them up and bring them back to the UK. So yeah, this is a very lovely piece of history, and a very, very lovely coin to own. This is the second key date of this series, so yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this one in my collection. So yeah, that's going to be filling a very, very tough space in my collection. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with that one. With the second lot, I've effectively paid £9 for each coin because I bought them for 27. So yeah, I've effectively paid £9 for each coin. So that is an absolutely amazing deal. I think I've done really well. This actually might be, leave it down in the comments. Do you think this is one of my best eBay purchases ever? I personally think this is one of my best eBay purchases ever. But yeah, some might disagree, but I do think this is one of my best eBay purchases ever. Now this is probably the best coin of the haul. You might be wondering, why is a worn Queen Victoria penny so interesting? Well, this is an 1869 Queen Victoria penny, so this is the rarest year. Mintage wise, it's a scarce coin, but it's not too rare. Initially 2.5 million of them were made, but this coin actually has a very, very low survival rate. So finding one with a readable date like this, and finding one where you can still make out Britannia and still make out Victoria is very, very hard to come by coin. So even in this condition, even in really rubbed and really circulated condition, really like thin and worn, this coin is still probably going to be worth about 20 to 30 pounds. So yeah, very, very nice, and very, very desirable coin. And yeah, this is the hardest one to find of the entire Queen Victoria series. So I've ticked off the hardest one. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to take the hardest one off. So yeah, an amazing, amazing find there. So let me put that down there. And yeah, now what we're going to do, we're going to cut to my collection. And yeah, we're going to add these coins into my collection. And yeah, I'm going to see a lot of tough gaps fill up. Alright, so now we're going to put the dates into their designated spaces in my collection. We're going to start off with the 1926 because it's the most accessible album in my collection. I don't have to go and get the albums out and stuff. So this one is literally right there. right there, so I can literally just pull it out. So yeah, we'll start with this one. I've upgraded my 1922. I actually decided I'd go for the one that I bought because it was a little bit better than the original one that we see here. So yeah, I've upgraded that, and yeah, let's get that 1926 in. There it is. Let me just put that in there. And there we go, boom. 1902 to 1929 Whitman album is 100% fully completed. While we're here, let's look at the mintage of the 1926. It has a mintage of 4,498,519. So comparing it to the 1920, which had a mintage of over 124 million, it's a very scarce date in the George series compared to others. It's not going to make you insanely rich, but yeah, it's still a tougher date to get. So yeah, that's the first new coin for my collection. So let's move on, and yeah, we'll add the other 3 to my collection. Okay, so the next 2 coins are going to end up in my British pre-decimal album. This is only a temporary solution because I actually have not yet ordered a 1930 to 1966 Whitman folder, so for now they're at the back of my British pre-decimal album just to keep them safe. So yeah, this is a temporary solution. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep them in this album forever. I'm going to eventually get a Whitman album to put these in. So yeah, this is only a temporary solution. So in due course, I will move these out of here and then give them actual homes. So yeah, let's start. So we're going to start with the 1953. So let me get that piece of cardboard out. We can throw that away now because we have got the real deal there. Decent condition. So yeah, let's put that in. Go right there. Get it underneath the flap. And there we go. That is one of the toughest Elizabeth dates ticked off. That's nicely and safely in the album. And then next we will do the 1950. Just have to lift it up. So let's get that piece of cardboard out. There we go. There's 1950. Get that out and throw that away. And then we go. There's the actual penny that we really want to see. So let's get that in there. There we go. So now for my King George to Elizabeth pennies, we're only missing the 1951, which is the hardest date to get. That is the ultimate hardest date to get with mintage of just 120,000. And the cheapest price you're probably going to pay for one of them is probably going to be about £30. So yeah, it's an expensive coin, but at some point I will get it. And then when I get that, my 1930 to 1966 portion of the date run will be completed. And then we can extend further back to Queen Victoria. I've already extended to 1881 with my 1881 to 1901 Whitman album, but I need to extend further back to 1860. So yeah, for now, this 1869 penny actually doesn't have a home, but I'm going to put it somewhere safe. But when I extend my date run back and I get the Whitman folder, that one will be going in the Whitman folder. But for now, I'm going to keep that nice and safe. So yeah, that is a very, very nice find. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with all of these purchases. So yeah, let's stick around for the roundup. Alright guys, so this is the end of the video, and what a video it's been. We've seen 3 key date pennies in today's video. And yeah, I think this is probably one of my best ever eBay purchases. I mean, £27 for 3 key dates isn't that bad, is it? Anyways, all the usual things. If you're a regular viewer, please go and check all my other videos out. And yeah, go and watch them because I've got more interesting videos on coins on my channel. And yeah, if you like those videos, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. It would help me out, and yeah, it's very, very much appreciated. So yeah, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time for more coins.